You guys, I'm saying you guys to nobody because no one's watching this yet, but I wanted to give it a couple minutes to help people get freaky, you know? It starts in 2 minutes, and I wanted to give people time. Oh my God, hi, Bobby. What up, Mac? Meow, meow, meow. Love you. Hi, Ani. Hi, Yoli. What's up, baby? What's up, everybody? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yo! It is popping in these streets. Hi, everybody. Do you have a glass of wine or another beverage present? Because you should. Because I want to do a little cheers. Hey, Jamie. Love you. Love you, Farah. What up, Jose? We're going to get real sexy, real chill. I don't know if that's a classic combination, but we're going to make it happen today. Yes, you're rolling your J. What's up, Bed Talks? Boo, boo, boo. Banana hand. God, you are so old school, Navi. I love it. Henny, bitch. You do not have Henny. I'm so proud. Hey, Hazy. What's up, Brent? You guys, I'm so excited. I love all of you so much. Okay. So I'm going to give it another couple minutes. But while I do, I'm going to welcome you to the first ever Bed Talk. Bam, 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 bam. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that you're here and you are taking time out of your busy schedules. I don't care if you're not working. Y'all have shit to do, okay? You have to pumice your feet, make art, sing songs, eat delicious foods, watch hella Netflix. I get it. You have plans. She's booked. I love you, Destiny. What's up, Common Gravity? Hey, Abby. All right. You might see some of my self-portraits behind me. And that's what we're going to discuss today, which is finding self-love through self-portraits. And I'm really excited that you're all joining me. I see some people still joining in, so I'm going to give another minute. But I'm going to explain Bed Talks for anyone that doesn't know, who just happens to be joining live without stalking me on social media, which you should start doing because it's great. But Bed Talks is a place where you can stay safe, you can stay comfy, and what's the other thing? Oh yeah, learn from your friends. Hopefully you'll learn from me today. If not, I'll be sharing this space together. A loving, safe space. You feel me? Love you guys. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Stacy and I started Bed Talks because a couple years ago, Stacy / my life wife / my creative partner, she thought of the idea to do a friend TED Talk party night where everyone would come prepared with a different thing that they're passionate about and have a whole presentation. And it just never fell through because everyone was busy and other shit was going down. But once this quarantine was announced, I don't know why I'm smiling as I'm saying it, but once it was announced and, here we are, now we're here, I just thought, why wouldn't we do it from home? It was a perfect opportunity to share with our friends and not have to be together, not have the luxury of being together and sharing physical space, but we can share this space, I'm just so excited. So, that explains Bed Talks. I am Shea, for anyone that doesn't know, who's just starting to follow this journey of mine, and I'm going to be talking about finding self-love through self-portraits. So, some of you might be asking, what is a self-portrait? Well, a self-portrait is a representation of any artist in any way. So you can paint it, sketch it, draw it, sculpt it, take a photograph of that particular artist, right? So all of us are pretty familiar with some of the more famous ones, Van Gogh, Monet, who else? Rockwell, Warhol, even Squidward had an entire wall of self-portraits. If you don't believe me, you can Google that shit after I'm done. But most notably, I want to talk about Frida Kahlo because she was known as the self-portrait master. And out of her 143 pieces of work, 55 of them were self-portraits. 55. That's an insane number. Okay? And she used self-portraits to express the pain that she felt because she got into a really bad streetcar accident. And that pain was not otherwise really shown. She never really told anyone that she was in pain. She just expressed it through her art, which I think is pretty amazing. I even have a quote here. She said, "My painting comes with it the message of pain. Painting completed my life." Pretty deep shit. And even though Free and I may not have much in common, we do share that sentiment. Because without art, I would be nowhere. Literally nowhere. By the way, I'm not looking at any of your comments right now. I'm going to save them to the end. So if you have questions, you may. Maybe you're just here for fun. But if you do, holla at me later because I will answer them. Where was I? Sorry. I'm drinking my wine. Free and I may not have much in common, but we do share that particular sentiment because I would be nowhere without art. I love art and expressing myself, and I feel like it has completed me in a way that I can't really express in any other way. So, to continue on, let's talk about my journey. So, I've always been and seemed like an outwardly confident girl. You know, I was always very expressive, very outspoken, very kind, very funny. I was always like the class clown. And I was confident about my abilities, right? But when it came to my body and when it came to my beauty and my self-image, it was always very low, especially when I was a kid and then middle school, early high school, because the foundation at the time in society of what beauty was the entire cast of Laguna Beach and Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Now, they're all queens too, but they looked a lot different than me. You know, I was always a bigger girl. I was always like a curvier girl. And, you know, I lived in a society, as I know a lot of us can relate to, where we were encouraged, even as kids, to wear black to slim down, because otherwise you won't look good, you'll look frumpy. And Spanx are like royalty, and without them we're nothing. And don't wear horizontal stripes because it'll make you look bigger, because that's the worst thing that can possibly happen to anyone, is looking bigger. And I just felt ugly, and I felt unworthy. And luckily, due to another form of self-love, aka selfie, bam, bam, bam. I'm going to do a lot of those basketball bam, bam, bams during this speech, by the way. But because of the selfie, and because of other various social media platforms being put out into the world, I was able to see so many other fat queens and body positive just lights in my life that made it okay for me to show myself off a little bit. So they gave me a little bit of wiggle room. I wasn't entirely comfortable, but I started taking a few selfies here and there, and I got a little comfy cozy, which is exactly what I needed. To start the first part of my self-love journey. And I hope you get there too. So I'm going to present you with 3 challenges during this speech. The first challenge that I want you to partake in, if you so wish, is to look yourself in the mirror, okay? Or take a picture of yourself. I would prefer full body. You don't need to show it to anybody, but look in the mirror, look at this picture that you've taken of yourself, and just take a look at it. No judgments, no filters, no edits, and look at yourself the way that you really are. Like you would with art, because you are a masterpiece, and I want you all to know that. So that's the first challenge, and I really, really, really want you to participate in that, okay? It's very important, and I think in order to love ourselves, we do need to see ourselves. So I want you to partake in that, please. So the next part is, how did I start doing self-portraits? Well, the first self-portrait I ever made was in 2015. And honestly, I can't tell you the reason why I decided to make one. I had never made one before. But one day, I think I was just feeling really down in the dumps about myself and I wanted to change it. So I found some old paints that I had in the house and I decided to make a self-portrait. Now the self-portrait, my head was cut out, so it was just neck down. And I was wearing an oversized shirt. I wish I could show it to you. I literally have no idea where this fucking painting is, okay? And it breaks my actual heart because I hold it so near and dear to me, okay? But I was wearing an oversized t-shirt that was cut off and it was cropped, which was a big deal to me at the time. And I was wearing men's underwear and I was just holding a bouquet of flowers. It was very simple with a lavender background and I adored it. But I do want to mention that I didn't include my face on purpose, and the reason why wasn't because I couldn't draw faces or whatever, because I'm okay at drawing faces, but it was because to the outside world and to society, when you're a fat person, your face a lot of the time is the silver lining of your image to fat phobic people. So I'm sure if you're fat, or if you have been, you know, if you've been a curvy big bitch, or I don't know, if you've ever been in my shoes, you would know that the one thing that fat phobic people say is, your face is so pretty. Your face is so pretty. Not you are so pretty or you are beautiful. Your face, because they can't possibly look at your entire being and think that you're beautiful, right? So I specifically cut off my face in order to not even have that be part of the conversation. I just wanted to show my body. And for the first time, I put an image of myself out there where it was unedited, and I put myself out there exactly as I looked. I showed my big arms even through the big t-shirt, and I showed my belly, and I showed my thighs that touched, and it was an act of rebellion, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I put it on social media. I hung it up on my wall so I could look at it every single day. I was forced to look at it every single day. I even made it my image for my portrait business cards and for my stickers that I put on every one of my paintings that I made for my business. I loved it. And I just think it was really important for me to see myself every day in that way, in my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? And exactly as I was. And I think it's really beautiful. So the next challenge that I want you to partake in is I want you to look at that image that I told you to not judge before and just observe whether it was you in the mirror or whether it's a picture of yourself. I want you to list 5 things that you love about it. Try really hard. You won't need to, and no one else that looks at your image would think that it's really hard to come up with 5 things that they love. But sometimes I know it's hard for us to find 5 things that we love about ourselves. So, please, 5 things that you love about yourself, okay? It's so important. And if you need help, holla at your girl. Although I really want you to do it on your own. But if you need help, holla at me, because I could come up with 3 billion reasons why you're fine and everyone loves you. Okay. Next part is, since that first self-portrait that I made in 2015, I've probably made about 20 self-portraits. Some of them I've published or I've put on my social medias, but a lot of them I haven't. And man, it's so amazing. Like recently, just a couple days ago, when I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to say during this presentation, I looked kind of chronologically through all of my self-portraits that I've made, and it made me super emotional. And the reason why is because, I can truly see where I was at that particular time, as I was making the self-portrait. And it's so amazing to see my progress and to see the times where I was in so much pain. And like Frida Kahlo, like I used my self-portraits, and by the way, I don't compare myself to Frida Kahlo. She's fucking insane and amazing. But like her, I used art to express my pain and express myself in a way that I couldn't in words, and that's what's so amazing about art, is you can express things that you verbally cannot at all. And it made me emotional. It was really quite incredible. And that's also another benefit to start making self-portraits, is you kind of see the difference in your life and you see your journey. It's really amazing. It's a way to have, it's a glimpse into someone else's little world that you wouldn't otherwise see. And I think that's really important. So, just saying. And because of that image, because of the first self-portrait I made, I started looking at myself differently. You know, I started seeing myself as art. And I finally felt like I deserved to be seen, and I deserved to be heard, and I deserved to be admired. And finally I was. Almost 5 years later, aka the end of last year in December, I was honored with the opportunity to show 3 of my pieces at a gallery downtown in Vegas, where I live. And they were self-portraits. They were actually nudes. They were nudes, self-portrait nudes of myself, showing off my body exactly as it is without being edited. And pieces were bought, you know? Like, I was able to show it off to anyone that walked into that gallery, saw my fat body and considered it art. That's amazing. And it makes me emotional. It makes me really proud to be where I'm at right now. And I want you to be there too. So the third challenge is I want you to free yourself. I want you to free yourself by painting yourself, by sketching yourself, by taking pictures of yourself. You know, it's insanely important. And by freeing yourself and by painting yourself, you are honoring what the universe made of you. You're honoring what the universe brought to this world, which is you. And there isn't a more special gift than to show yourself love in that way. So, that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you learned a lot. And I'm going to leave, I haven't read any of your comments, but I'm going to leave the floor open for a couple minutes if you guys want to ask me any questions. And thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. My mom is clapping in the background. Thanks, Mom. Mom, I'm still live right now. Wait, are these questions? Oh, shit. Can you tell us more about the portraits behind you? Yes, I would love to. Okay, let me go in chronological order. And this is kind of what I was explaining about seeing your journey through your art. So I painted this one in 2017. It's an image of me. This is when I was blonde. And I was in a very dark place. And I remember painting this on my floor, in my room. I was heartbroken. I was jobless. Actually, I was working as an Uber driver. So I wasn't technically jobless, but I was really, really depressed. And I was feeling very suicidal at the time. And I just wanted to express how I felt, because I was embarrassed to tell people that I was depressed and that I was in a very dark place. It was embarrassing for me because I was always kind of seen as like someone that was always bubbly and happy. And so I painted this. And so it's me in a dark place with a lot of vines behind me. And I'm kind of, you can see that even the side of my face, I'm looking down, my eyes are closed, and I'm really upset. This was actually a painting of, like, I took a picture of myself before I painted. So this is exactly how I looked while I was painting this. And I was in a very dark place. But the vines around me, I think, represent the hope for growth, which I ultimately did, which is really cool. So I love that painting because I know that version of Shea, and she went through hell, and I'm so fucking proud of her. And this is one I made last year, 2018, I think. And it was a time where I was finally starting to really take care of myself, and I wasn't lying to myself about things, and I wasn't making excuses for people, and I was finally doing what I wanted to do for myself. So I was taking care of myself a lot. It was a time of self-reflection and self-care, and that is honey dripping on my face right here, and that is a hair towel because I had just taken a bath, and that's me looking real relaxed, y'all. So these are two of my self-portraits that aren't nudes. Most of them are nudes, though. So yeah, that's two of them. Thank you so much for that question, Stacey. Other question: where do I find inspiration? Where do I find inspiration for my self-portraits? Well, typically I find inspiration through, I don't know, the times and whatever I'm going through at the time. Also, other queens on social media that show themselves and aren't afraid to be vulnerable and aren't afraid to just be unapologetically themselves. I can't tell you how much you guys inspire me. You really do, and I hope you know that. You are a huge inspiration. And just everything I've gone through. Sometimes I think about, the past version of me as, a different person, so that I can see her in the right light. Because I think sometimes when we're thinking about ourselves, it's hard to truly see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So, when I view myself from 5 years ago, I almost see her as a different person so I can be more compassionate. And I look at myself from past experiences and it's kind of a tribute to them. So that's where I find inspiration. Let's see, who else asked questions here? Are clothes as important to paint as nudes? Well, that's up to you. It's whatever you're feeling. I think it's important to see yourself nude. I think it's important to see exactly as you are without covering yourself up. But really, ultimately, it's whatever empowers you. For me, it's just whatever I'm feeling at the time. But most of the time, I like painting myself nude. Would you agree Stacey has a tough act to follow? No, because she's a fucking queen. And she does this shit for a living. Speaking to a million people. And being incredible, and I'm just obsessed with her. So no, she doesn't have a tough act to follow. She is the tough act to follow, always, just in general. If I was to paint a nude, I'd paint nude too. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've ever painted nude. You just gave me a brilliant fucking idea. Thank you so much. I love you. Yes, Destiny, I'm sure you remember that point in my life. It was very rough. It was rough-a-roni. And I didn't see which one should be an album cover, but you probably meant that one. Did you mean the depressed one? Because that would be also very good. That should be your EP album cover. By the way, my EP is coming out, y'all, this summer. Be ready. I have none of it ready yet. But I know it's happening. I'm speaking it to the universe. Okay. You inspire me all motherfucking day. Bobby! You kill me. Thank you so much. You were such a queen. I can't begin. Yola, you inspire me the most, Mama. You have helped bring me out of my shell. Your soul is so perfect. Stop! You're gonna make me cry. No, y'all are inspirational as fuck. I love you. Have you ever thought of doing a painting of you painting a portrait? Yeah, I actually wanted to kind of make a tribute of the Norman Rockwell painting, the triple self-portrait, where he's looking in a mirror painting, and it's just insane. And I've thought about doing that. I don't want to say I'm not skilled enough for it, but that would be a tough act to follow as well. Yeah, I would love to do that. That's a fucking good idea. What's up, Andrew? Bam, bam, bam. Shea, that was so cute. Would you hold a self-portrait paint class? My God. Yes, I would. If anyone would be down, which I don't know if they would be, but I would absolutely love to. I think this is the self-portrait class. My Venmo is at Shea Mayo. If you wanted to me, just kidding. This is free, guys. Completely free, because I love y'all. Yeah. So if you don't have any other questions, there are more questions. Okay. Is Becca the prettiest girl in the world? LOL, you're great, Shea. Wow, Phil. You know what? You're right. She is the prettiest girl in the world. And so are all the queens that are watching and just all the other queens in general. We're all straight gorgy, but yes, you're absolutely right. Becca is goddamn beautiful, and she always has been. Fight me if you disagree, which no one will. Want you to paint me like Jack and Rose? Let's set it up. Would be. You know, I've never painted like a live person. That would be some shit. That'd be really cool. I would love to do that. That'd be sick. Okay. Well, I think this is done because I do need to save this to my phone and then ultimately put it up on YouTube. But you guys, I can't thank you enough. This was so fucking cool. Thank you for giving me the space to talk about something I love and I'm passionate about and has changed my entire life. I hope that you have learned something, and I hope that you kind of take something away from it. I hope that you follow along with my challenges, because I think they're really important, and I would love to see your progress. So if you make a self-portrait, please tag me or send it to me. I would be like aroused. So please send it to me. Thank me. I think you're an amazing first bed dog. I love you, Stacy. Like actually put paint on my body. I would love to do that too. Okay. Hi, Brian. You're the coolest. And thank you so much, Naveed. You're the coolest. Yoli, you're amazing. Love you. Brent, you're iconic. I love you, Destiny. Okay. Love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. And she wants to say thank you. And she wants to say thank you.